So guys, today I want to talk about the DJI Osmo Pocket. I really wanted to hate this camera because, I mean, look at it. If I hold it in my hand, you can only see the gimbal. This thing looks like you would buy at a Walmart for your nephew or your children for like 40 bucks. This just does not look professional. If you pull this out, people will think you're recording like a 480p video, and they are incredibly wrong. So first of all, let's get the elephant out of the room, the size. The size of this camera, again, is super small. That's a good thing and a bad thing because it's wonderful because, well, it's small. If you have like a weird feeling with, vlogging out in public, if you're holding this thing out and you're vlogging with it, people don't really look at you because of its small form factor. People will just think you're holding like a little USB device, even if you're holding it out in front of you. That's honestly what they will see is just that little gimbal. They're not going to see this whole thing because you're pretty much going to be covering it up with your hand anyway. So what good is a video camera without any good video options? Well, I'm super happy to say this thing records in 4K, 24, 25, 30, 48, 50, and 60 frames per second. It also does 1080p at those same exact frame rates, but also one of my favorite features is that it does 1080p at 120 frames per second slow motion. That is just enough to make any camera in this price range super jealous because it's actually pretty damn good quality, even though it is 1080p and it does punch in a little bit whenever you're doing the slow motion. But even after that, the image isn't too soft. It's actually kind of pretty much spot on, and you can easily just add sharpening in post and make it look even better. Now, if that's not enough, it also has time lapse and motion lapse. Now, you guys know what time lapse is, right? You set your camera up and then you just hit record and it'll take photos every whatever and then turn that into like a movie pretty much. A motion time lapse is pretty much the same thing, but the camera is moving, and I'll show you guys that an example later on in this video. And again, it adds a little bit more uniqueness to this Osmo Pocket. Okay, anyway, what am I, Rain Man? I don't want to talk about numbers all day. Anyone can look at the specs, look at the numbers, look at the battery, and oh, that's boring. The main question is, how does it vlog? So yeah, you can definitely vlog with this camera. I'm not sure how the audio sounds like because I'm at the beach, obviously, and it's pretty windy. It's so nice though. It's like 70 degrees here in Florida. I guess that's one of the biggest perks of being in Florida is you can go to the beach in January, like mid-January. But yeah, this is definitely vloggable. Is that a word? I don't know. It is now. So guys, that's the end of the vlog test, and now I'm just gonna use the power of magic to bring you guys back to the actual video now. The battery on this little dude lasts about 140 minutes using 1080p at 30 frames per second. So I figured if you're using 4K 60, it should easily last about an hour and a half. maybe a little more give and take. Now, charging time with this camera, because it does only have an integrated battery, the charging time is 73 minutes if you're using a 10-watt charger, which is you know, it's fine. It's not a game changer, but I really do kind of hoped or wished, I guess I should say, that it did come with interchangeable batteries, because I feel like even an hour and a half of 4K 60 isn't really good enough for an entire day of vlogging. Let's say if you're going on a family vacation, or you know, a day at the beach, or whatever it may be. I really don't think an hour and a half is a lot of time to be working with. And plus, you don't want to carry around a battery bank and just charge it between shots. So it does time lapse, motion lapse. It's small, it's nimble. It takes photos either in a 4:3 aspect or a 16:9 aspect. It has an insane video quality, okay? So what are the downsides? And oh boy, it does have downsides. The first downside, there's no tripod mount. You know, it's a downside, it really is, because this just kind of limits you where you can put it, and you have to buy, I think the adapter is like 20 bucks, and for some reason it's a GoPro adapter, like you can fit it onto your GoPro mounts. I don't understand why, but there's no tripod mount on this camera whatsoever. The accessories are pretty expensive. It goes from like $20 all the way to $60, and obviously the ones that are actually useful are the ones that are 60 bucks. So, you know, that kind of puts you into the same level of price wise as a GoPro Hero 7 and even the Insta360 One X. The third downside, and I've already mentioned this, is there's no removable battery. I don't understand. In 2018, well, yeah, I mean, it came out in 2018, but I'm just gonna consider it 2019 since most of us are using it, starting to use it, oh my God, in 2019. We need removable batteries. We do. It's just a given. We use products a lot if we love them, and it would be nice to remove the battery, put a new one in, and continue the recording. Now, this one's kind of a big deal. There's no backfiring microphone. There's a microphone right here at the front, so pretty much if you're talking right into it, it's gonna sound extremely well. And there's also a microphone over here, I'm guessing for noise cancellation. So, but there's no microphone in front of it. So if you're behind the camera recording someone in front of the camera and they're talking, it's gonna sound a little muffled. It's not gonna sound as clear as the person who is behind the camera. So I don't get it. They added a mic here on the bottom, a mic in front. Why not put a mic on the back, DJI? Now, this is kind of an opinion, just a small opinion of mine, but I really kind of wish that the field of view of the camera was a little bit wider. You know, it's equivalent to like a 28 millimeter on a full frame, or like a 26 to 28 millimeter on a full frame. It's okay in some instances, but if it was like a 24 or a 20, it would have been, or equivalent, I should say, it would have been much better, and you would actually capture more of a vlog, to be honest, because you'll get more, you know, background information. So I don't know why they decided to kind of really punch in that much. I just feel like, you know, 26 to 28 millimeters equivalent to a 35 millimeter camera is a little bit punching in. That's almost like borderline not even really vloggable. Is that a word? Vloggable? Well, it is now. Now, out of all the cons I have listed, do the cons outweigh the pros? Should you not pick this camera up because of the cons? I don't think so. I think the pros really, really outweigh the cons, because for what you get, this camera is honestly, it's just, I mean, again, I wanted to hate it. I wanted to. Like, I was really set on making a video on why I don't like it before I even had it, because I was watching a bunch of YouTube videos. So I had this thing in my head, I'm like, that's stupid, I don't like it. But after using it, I can definitely say the pros do outweigh the cons, and this camera is really worth it. Now, is it literally worth it? By that I mean, is it worth $350? Well, if you asked me this question a few weeks ago before the update came out, back when it had horrible audio and horrible autofocus, I would say no, it's not worth the money. But now since they did the update, the audio is much better. I'm literally talking about it almost sounds like it's coming from a lapel mic. Not quite there, but I mean, it might trick a few people. It actually sounds really good if there's no wind. And the autofocus has also improved. So yeah, I do think it's worth the money as of right now. So I guess the main question of today, is the DJI Osmo Pocket the best vlogging camera? Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna have to say it is. If you guys have enjoyed this review, remember to like the video, subscribe if you like what you saw, if you like the channel, if you're feeling it. It helps me out. And if you guys have any questions on the DJI Osmo Pocket, be sure to let me know. Again, this was not a technical review. This was just an everyday review from the average person that loves tech. So, have a good one.